Hi everybody, this is Ginger, reporting on week 2 of my Mounjaro journey. So I've completed week 2 now and still going pretty well. This is just a bit of a review of the week and where I am today, weight-wise, side effects-wise, anything I've noticed, any problems, that kind of thing. So shot day is Tuesday night. So I did take my shot in the evening still again. I think it was about 7:30 on Tuesday night. No pain, no noticeable redness or anything around the shot area. And again, went to bed, woke up on Wednesday, no real side effects in regards to nausea or constipation, anything like that. What I would say is if week 2 had a word, week 2's word would be exhaustion. I mean, when I say I was tired all week, I was beyond tired. I mean, I was going to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, reading a book, just completely wiped out. I've not really heard anybody else report that, and I don't know if it's because it's winter time here in the UK. It's dark, it's getting dark. I do struggle with winter and sort of dark moods, dark evenings, etc. So I do everything to sort of preserve my mental health, and sometimes having an early night or extra sleep. I want to say that maybe in winter I'm doing 9 hours sleep, and I certainly was doing that last week. It was quite surprising just how tired I was. Sorry, I'm trying to be photobombed by a cat here. So Wednesday was fine. I have noticed that on the morning after I take the shot, that I have no hunger at all, no food noise, nothing. I mean, it's like food isn't even a thing. So Wednesday, Thursday, I would definitely say that I had that. Friday, I would say that I had slightly more of an appetite, in that it's Friday. What I'm struggling with is picking apart what is hunger and what is head hunger, I would call it. Sort of like, not exactly craving, but I think when you've been overweight for so long and you've used food to manage your emotions, it's hard to understand what hunger is, what stress is, what eating to calm whatever you're feeling actually is. So on Fridays always used to be a bit of a, oh, finish work for the weekend, let's celebrate, let's have something nice for dinner, let's have, some extra bits that we wouldn't normally have, kind of thing. Whereas on Saturdays, it's usually the contrary. So Saturdays, I will get up and I'll be busy doing chores and running errands and, looking after the house, doing the grocery shopping, maybe going out and meeting friends and things like that. Saturdays, I don't tend to eat until much later in the day. And then I might have like a smaller meal at lunchtime and then like a really nice big special dinner, like a big steak or something that takes a long time, like a chili or a homemade curry or things like that. I am a good cook, so I do like to cook of a wide variety of things. And then Sunday is usually my Sundays. Sundays have always been a bad day for me. Sundays, I would always say that I would severely overeat on a Sunday. I think there is a psychological thing around Sundays for me, in that I don't know, it's carried over from my childhood, but I want to eat more food. I want to eat lots of food. I want to eat a wide variety of food. I want to eat in quite large quantities, and I want to eat all the junk. It's my indulgence day. Maybe that's in preparation for go back to work on Mondays, but Sundays are always a bad day for me. So this Friday, I did have those thoughts around, oh, I want something. I want something special. I want something more than just your run-of-the-mill day-to-day food. But then actually, when I checked in, I didn't want it. That was a habit that was speaking there, rather than a hunger or a craving. That was just a habit that I've gotten into. So Friday night, as it turned out, I had a small bowl of soup for my dinner. Saturday, I met a friend for coffee on Saturday, and I literally did just have a cup of coffee. She wanted to have some lunch, but I wasn't interested. I wasn't hungry, and I still haven't worked out what I'm eating yet. I've got so many food rules that I've stuck to over the years, that I've kind of gotten myself confused. So Saturday I didn't really eat until probably about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I only had I think it was a hard-boiled egg, a slice of ham, and a bit of yogurt, if I remember rightly. Sunday, oh, and then Saturday night, I think Saturday night I did have a steak, because I've heard some people say that red meat's harder to digest, so I wanted to have it on Saturday so that if I didn't sleep well, which I haven't been doing anyway, I would still be able to sort of sleep in on Sunday, and that's exactly what did happen. So I had the steak. It was probably too big. Probably need to go for a smaller size steak, and I didn't get to sleep until later because I felt like I was still digesting the food. But then Sunday, my God, I didn't wake up until 9:30 on Sunday morning, which was quite a surprise. I haven't slept until 9:30 in ages. Sunday, those memory bells, those food bells were ringing large, but I kept coming back to, am I hungry? Do I actually want to eat? What do I want to eat? And when I broke it down, I was quite happy with a bit of tuna and avocado. And then I think Sunday night, I want to say I had a chicken breast, sort of for dinner, with some broccoli, and I think it was just chicken breast and broccoli. And then Monday kind of returned to work and returned to normal. So I've got into a bit of a pattern now. So I either have a protein coffee in the morning or a protein shake, a bottled shake I'm just buying at the moment. Aldi have some like chocolate, vanilla and strawberry protein shakes. So I've bought a couple of those that I've been having. So I'll have one of those. And then for lunch, it's usually soup or chicken breast or tuna and avocado. What else have I had this week? Some days I just had like a couple of hard-boiled eggs. And then again, I'm really into my homemade chicken soup, sort of made with bones and, vegetables and things like that. So a lot of the evenings last week, I made a huge pot of that. And so most of the evenings I sort of had homemade chicken soup for dinner, which one, it's easy to digest. Two, it's nice and hot. So, the weather's getting a bit colder here and it's just that comforting, warming kind of feeling. So yeah, that kind of brought me up to Monday night, and then weigh in on Tuesday. So Tuesday morning. So again, just to recap, my initial starting weight was 247 pounds and 8 ounces, and that's the UK 17 stone 9 and then 8 ounces. After my first week, I'd lost 7 pounds and 4 ounces, so that brought me down to 240 pounds and 4 ounces, and then 17 stone 2 and 4 ounces, and then at the end of this week, that was down to 238 £8 and 8 ounces, or 17 stone exactly and 8 ounces. So I actually only lost 1.6 pounds week 2. So yeah, it's not what I wanted, but that old mentality of, you know, it's got to be more than £2 a week, or I'm failing, or I'm not doing as well, or something's gone wrong, or I've eaten too much. I definitely have not eaten too much. What I would say is that I am drinking quite a lot of water, as you're supposed to do. I still can't figure out why we're supposed to, but everyone says we're supposed to drink loads of water, so I am drinking loads of water. And I'm drinking a protein water. So I've got a short video I'll show later, but it's from Asda. It's just like a whey protein clear product. The one I've got is strawberry and raspberry flavour, and I've been drinking quite a lot of that. But actually it making me feel quite bloated, so I'm wondering if I am actually retaining a bit of water as well. Because again, I would say I struggled to get my calories over 1,000 routinely every day, which is just unheard of. It's unheard of. If you'd have told me a couple of weeks ago I'd only be eating 1,000 calories a day, I wouldn't have believed you. There were even a couple of days where I just, like, I'd had a little bit of chicken soup. I think my chicken soup, my homemade chicken soup with chicken bones, some chicken breast, carrots, celery, onions, and then like homemade stock with garlic and stuff in it. Obviously I take the bones out. I think that only comes into like 238 calories a bowl. So what I ended up doing midweek was like taking a chicken breast out, cutting it in half, and then adding half extra protein to the soup mix, because I needed to get the protein, calories and everything up a little bit. But yeah, so I'm definitely under eating, and like I said, a couple of days in the week, I think I had a couple of handfuls of nuts, like pecans, almonds, I had some walnuts, not all at the same time, and some pistachios, just because I really felt like I needed to just get some calories, especially as I was feeling so tired. I thought, gosh, am I feeling so tired because I'm not eating enough, or is it the weather? But then other people have reported that they're struggling to sleep on Mounjaro. So what happens is I do go to sleep sort of at normal time, sort of like 10:30, and then I wake up about 1:30 usually to pee because of all the water I'm drinking, or 2 o'clock, and then I'm awake between 2 and 4:30, and then I do sort of fall into what I call a twilight sleep between about 4 and 6:30, 7 o'clock when my alarm goes off. So previously I'd struggled with that when I was in perimenopause, but actually I've been sleeping like a log in the last 6 months, so I don't think it's that. I definitely think it is the Mounjaro that is affecting my sleep. Nonetheless, I'm exhausted, tired, but I'm still functional, so I'm still able to function during the day. I've got a very busy, full-on, hectic job, and I'm glad to report I am still able to do that, and my cognitive abilities are still there, so that's good. But yeah, other side effects. Sorry, I did actually make notes this time. Other side effects. I have had some very slight nausea every now and again. Not even to the point where it's a problem or that I need a ginger tea or anything like that. Just kind of like feel ever so slightly queasy. But usually it will pass if I have something to drink, or if I have just like a couple of mouthfuls of something. I made some scrambled eggs the other day, 2 scrambled eggs with a bit of ham chopped up in it, and I started to eat that for breakfast, and I ate half of it, and then I was full, and I mean full to the gills. So I put it back in the fridge. So when I felt a bit queasy later, I just had a couple more mouthfuls of that and I felt okay again. So I think week 2 is all about just like finessing what I need to do, when I need to eat, what's hunger, what's not hunger, what's habit. Yeah, just to try and nail that down a little bit. So yeah, so some slight nausea. I would say I had a bit of hunger, a bit more hunger on the Sunday, Monday, because my injection day is Tuesday evening. So yeah, Sunday maybe, although that's hard to pick apart. Monday and Tuesday, I didn't feel as full. So I think what I have noticed is that I do get very, very full very quickly. And I mean, like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner stuffed, you know, like just like, oh, I couldn't eat another bite if you paid me. Again, which is crazy because I've got a big appetite. You know, I like a big plate full of food. I'm a volume eater. I like to see a plate full of food. So yeah, so Monday, Tuesday, the hunger did come back a little bit, as in like I fancy, I fancy a steak for dinner, or I fancy, some chicken breast and some vegetables and things for dinner. But actually, even though when I was eating the food, then I wouldn't be able to get through it as much. So the hunger's there, but the capacity to eat as much isn't, which again, I'm trying to find a balance with, because I'm still struggling to get the calories in. My mind is saying, don't worry about it. You've been overeating for the last 30 years. So, 3 to 6 months of undereating isn't going to do any harm. You've got enough calories on your body to be able to fuel yourself. And I think that's what this is all about, is not stressing too much. I'm not saying routinely undereat and it's going to be a lifelong habit. I'm just saying for these first few weeks while your body's adjusting, maybe just forget that you're not eating enough in the day. Your body is going to pull the fat and the calories off your body. That's how you're losing weight. It's using the reserved stores of energy that we carry around with us every day, which is what our body's designed to do. So sleep has been affected. The other thing I would say is I have been more thirsty, so I'm not a big water drinker. At the best of times, I would sort of have like 2 or 3 glasses of water a day to try and balance the coffee addiction out. But more than that, I wouldn't normally bother. Whereas I've been easily able to drink probably 2 litres of water a day. I've got a litre bottle, a glass bottle, that I fill up in the morning, and I go through that. When I've drunk about half of it, I might put some electrolytes in it. That is the other thing I meant to say, is I have been taking electrolytes. I can't remember if it was the end of week 1 or the beginning of week 2. I noticed that I was getting cramps in my legs and in my sides. And I realised that was probably due. I wasn't eating enough, so therefore I wasn't getting enough magnesium, potassium, sodium. So just brought in an electrolyte, and that's solved it. And then I'll have a refill my bottle again at around lunchtime, and I'll have that sort of in the afternoon into the evening. I tend not to drink anything really after about 7 o'clock at night. The problem is, I mentioned on my first video, I have Barrett's esophagus, and I actually have quite bad Barrett's esophagus. So I might do another video at some point about that, to link in with how I'm managing eating with that, because I can't really eat too big of portions anymore. I can't go to bed with a full stomach. I have to be careful sort of laying down, or I have to remain upright for at least 4 hours after I eat, to allow the food to sort of digest. So that was another one of my hesitations when I was thinking about starting Mounjaro, is how is that going to impact on my Barrett's if it's slowing down my digestion? Because obviously with Barrett's you don't want it hanging around, because when you lie down the food regurgitates up into your esophagus, and then that's what's caused the burning and the scarring of my esophagus, and has affected my voice. They think probably permanently now. So I have a permanently croaky voice, but oh well, never mind. I was never going to be a singer anyway. So yeah, just some ideas about what I have been eating. So I would say I've been using the rule of thumb that everyone seems to indicate, which is 100 grams of protein a day. I'm trying to hit up that 100 grams. I'm not too worried about anything else around that. I'm not too worried about the calories, although if they're too low, I am a little bit worried still, even though I've just said don't worry about the calories. I think my worry about going too low in calories at the back of my mind is I'm going to binge. I'm going to have a big binge because my body's going to go, I need calories, but I'm trying not to overthink it too much. So I've been aiming for 100 grams of protein a day. I'd say there's only about 2 days that I've maybe missed that, but I've always been above sort of 85 grams. So that's not too big a problem. So I've been starting the morning with like a protein shake or a protein coffee. Lunch has been tuna and avocado, homemade chicken soup, hard-boiled eggs, maybe some plain chicken breast or leftover chicken and vegetables from the night before. And then dinner has tended to be, again, this chicken soup, chicken breast and vegetables and steak. And those are really because it's the only foods I've really been not even craving, but just kind of like, yes, I could eat that. Yes, that sounds good. I could eat that. But I joked about like the night before I started Mounjaro, I had a KFC. I have like a mega box, which is a kind of a small. It's like 3, so it's a chicken finger, a chicken thigh, and 2 hot wings with some fries and some gravy. So it's not huge. It's not like a big meal, but it's perfect. It's just the right size. The thought of eating that these days just makes me feel sick. No desire to eat that, which is bizarre because I love that. That would be my going out kind of like, oh, I'll go out and get a KFC. Absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. Same with things like chocolate and cookies, or I used to love croissants with loads of butter. Just silence. Inner silence. Don't want those things. And eating them, oh, I'd love to have another croissant. Nothing like that. It's, sorry if I'm banging on about this, but it's incredible just to have all of that noise gone. And until it's gone, you don't realise how much of your thoughts, your time, it's been preoccupying in your head. I mean, when I say I probably thought about food in the background 30 minutes out of every hour, just thinking, can I have another coffee? Shall I have something to eat? Am I hungry? What am I going to have for dinner? Oh, I overate for breakfast. All those eggs were nice, or I really fancy that, or just all of this like constant monologue about food. And I'm embarrassed to say it, but that's how it's been for so long. And I mentioned before in week 1 that I did the carnivore diet, and I had a very similar experience with the carnivore diet in that once I was kind of like 2 weeks in, a week to 10 days in, all of that food noise went away. Not to the extent it's gone away this time, but it went away. So I wasn't constantly thinking about it. But then when I had a bad day or a good day or whatever, and the only way I could manage it was kind of like through food, I ignored the fact that I didn't have those cravings, if that makes sense. Because those foods have worked for me before, I knew it would work for me again. And it would usually start with like a creamy coffee or just one bread roll or something like that. But so yeah, I did lose. I lost about 45 or 48 pounds. I can't quite remember on the carnivore diet. And I only put like, well, when I say only put like 20 back on, I put 20 back on, but I still remained so 25 to 28 pounds under my highest ever weight. But yeah, but Mounjaro, like the food noise is gone. The food obsession, yeah, that's a better word. Obsession. The food obsession is gone. So I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling again. So exercise, I haven't, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I've suddenly started taking the gym every day or going to the gym. I haven't. I have done a couple of like 2 mile, 3 mile walks. I have a treadmill. So I've done a couple on the treadmill, a couple outside, and I have got some free weights. So I have been lifting weights, really just doing arm exercises until I kind of get into this a little bit more and figure out my day and my time and things like that. But I just couldn't get out of bed in the morning. I could not get out of bed to exercise. The thought of like getting up 30 minutes earlier was just killing me. So for this first month, I've given myself some grace to just be able to settle in, not go at it all sort of, like fury and fire and fury or whatever they say, but just to kind of ease myself into it, get used to the shots, get used to what I'm eating, get down a bit of a routine, and then when I have got a bit of energy, get up and do something, just some free weights, or like I do some step exercises on the stairs, and I've got some of those like elastic bands. They're not elastic bands, they're like exercise bands, and like doing some resistance training with those. So it'll come in time. I hope it'll come in time. But yeah, so that's really, I think, week 2. So yeah, am I disappointed about 1.6 pounds? Yes, I am disappointed. Nothing's going to take away from that fact. But anyway, it's I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not in it just to, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's taken me years to get to the weight I am now, so I need to accept that it's going to take a bit of time to get back down. Excuse me, this part of the thing with the Barretts is the hiccuping when I talk a lot. So yeah, but overall, I'm really happy that I'm on it. To me, it feels like a good investment, and it feels like something that I can make peace with myself. I know some people have talked, I saw some really inflammatory statements about the gastroparesis, and that was a worry for me because of the Barretts, and I have had delayed stomach emptying before, but it hasn't affected me. So I am going to continue with the 2.5 milligrams for the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because I have seen somebody do a video about the fifth Mounjaro shot. So I've bought some extra insulin needles to be able to get that shot out of the pen. So I will look at doing that. But my plan is at the end of week 4 / maybe week 5, I will move up to the 5 milligram mark. So that's a summary of my week 2. Feels weird to say this, but if you've got any comments or questions, please put them in the comments. If anybody watches this, that's always the fear, isn't it, that I'll be the only person on YouTube that no one's ever watched their video. But there you go. That is just what I'm going to have to live with. The lighting is shocking. The setting is shocking. I have a cat that has bombed into the video, but I'm just going to post it anyway. But I'm not looking to be an influencer or a YouTube, millionaire. I'm literally doing this just for recording, and genuinely, because when I started, I went online, and everyone I looked at was in America, and I was like, is anyone doing this in the UK? And I found 2 or 3 people in the UK who were doing it. I should probably give them a shout out, but I can't remember their names, so I'll do that in the next video. But yeah, I think if you're really struggling and you're as miserable and hopeless and fallen as I felt, then if listening to me ramble on for 29 minutes, you can pull anything out of it, then brilliant. So yeah, don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to give it a go. It's not forever. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work, if it's not for you, give up. But for me, it's working for now. So I'm just going to leave it there. But thanks to anybody who is watching, and there will be a week 3 for sure. Take care.